Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back reacting to another episode of the Book of Boba Fett. This is episode 5. So what happened last time on the Book of Boba Fett? So last time we saw how Boba and Fennec Shand first met, and we got to see them retake his ship, which is technically no longer called Slave 1, but I feel like everyone is still gonna call it Slave 1. At least because they haven't, like, come up with a different name, right? Unless they just call it the Fire Spray. But that's, like, the type of ship, not necessarily the name of the ship. So who knows what'll happen with that. And then in present day, we saw him trying to unite some of these crime families against the Pikes. And they all said no. Or at least they're like, we'll remain neutral. And the plan is now he's going to try and take on these Pikes on his own. He's hired Black Chrysanthemum for like protection in some form. And I believe the hint is that he's also going to try and hire Mando, because when they talked about how coin can buy muscle, the Mandalorian theme song played. So who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But I'm really excited to jump into this next episode. Before we do that, though, please consider leaving a like on the video. That means a ton to me and helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to support me even further, I have a Patreon. On my Patreon, you can do things like vote in polls for what shows I watch next. You get full-length reactions over there. You can also get featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, I think that's all I got. So let's jump into episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett. Sorry, just had to be stupid for a second. Is that Mando? Oh! Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Oh, he's beautiful. Just as beautiful as the day I lost you. Oh. Are you just doing bounty hunter things since your son is off at summer camp?
I'm here for Kababayas.
Pedro.
What makes you think he's...
I see him right now.
That's you, buddy.
That's not me.
The
I can
options
bring you
type.
in warm,
Or I can bring you in cold.
or I can bring you in cold.
Oh, you bet him in the hand. Oh! Igniting the Darksaber. He's still not great with it, but oh. Mando, I think you need to pretend to lose a fight to Fennec, or not to Fennec, to Bo-Katan, so she can have that back. Oh my god. Yo. Bruh, split that man in half. Guess he's bringing him in cold. I mean, usually he brings him in warm, but this time it's like, nah, fam. Mando, you got some work to do with that Darksaber, bud. Man's lucky he didn't cut his own leg off. More of a blaster type guy. Is this Halo? Are we watching the backdoor pilot to the Halo series? I think that's what's happening. Master Chief about to show up here? No. That's the job. Oh, I wonder if the Pikes hired him. That would be interesting. Yeah, Mando, you gonna have to you're gonna have to see a doctor. Because that's gonna get infected. This all seems kind of like a one-shot up until that. It's just kind of following him. Ooh, is that the armor? Is this their new spot? Yo. She's such a badass. I love her armor.
I didn't know if I would ever see you again.
Thank you
As
for
Vizsla?
saving me.
Isn't that the guy voiced by Jon Favreau?
This.
That's Whistler. Bring it to me.
I think he recognizes what that is.
Mandalorians have existed 10,000. What do you know of this blade?
It's black.
Darksaber.
It was forged over 1,000 years ago by the Mandalore Tar Vissel.
Mandalorian Jedi.
He was both Mandalorian and Jedi.
I have met Jedi.
Bitchin'. So backdoor setup for Mando Season 3.
Songs of Eon's
You know,
past
it is what it is.
foretold of the mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of
The
Mandalore.
mythosaur.
Sadly, it only exists in legend.
Isn't that what Boba Fett wrote in the holiday special?
It was the gift of a Jedi. It can block a lightsaber.
They got a lot of catching up to do.
Moff Gideon.
The Darksaber is a more noble weapon for you to wield.
Damn right it is. Plus it'll make it easier for him to walk through doorways without a giant spear.
Her rule ended in tragedy. They lost their way, and we lost our world.
True. Oh, flashback, baby!
Those born of Mandalore
Oh my
strayed
God.
away from the path.
So they just like glassed Mandalore.
Destroyed. Night of 1,000 Tears.
That's crazy. The K2 droids. This is insane.
Something for a foundling.
This is the way.
For a specific foundling.
Little baby Grogu. Hell yeah, boy. Or a lightsaber hilt. Yo, forge Grogu his own lightsaber. That way, when he finds his own kyber crystal, he can put it inside. Maybe they made chainmail out of Beskar.
Pure. You are fighting against the blade.
It gets heavier with each move.
Yep.
Because you are fighting against the blade.
Dang, why does it get heavier?
Time.
I wonder if that would be like a new piece of lore they introduce specific to the Darksaber. Because I don't think that's the way of
You are too weak
all
to fight
lightsabers
the
in general.
Darksaber. It will win if you fight against it.
Maybe the Darksaber belongs in someone else's hands.
Boy, don't you say that.
Do you agree to this duel, Din Djarin?
What if he just says no?
I do.
No. I'm not good with it yet. You aren't gonna try and win it if I suck with it? slightly unexpected that this guy would want to claim the Darksaber. I think Mando's a better fighter than this guy in general, but yeah, given that he's not too good with the sword.
It is done. Have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
Except, according to
I beg you for your forgiveness.
actual Mandalorian lore, they're totally okay with that.
According to Creed, one may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore.
But the mines have all been destroyed.
This is the way.
This is the way. So we have Mando's new quest. He's gonna take all his stuff. So, Mando's gotta go through TSA. He's gotta take commercial flights because his ship is destroyed. What's up, kid? What did he make for him? Oh, it even looks like it looks like a little Grogu with the pointy ears and everything. Oh, that's BB-8, not BB-8. That's same type of droid, BD. Yeah, BD-1. It's the same type of droid that Cal Kestis has in the game. In Jedi Fallen Order. That would be lit if we saw Cal Kestis. Never mind.
What an entrance!
I thought she was just pulling a prank on him.
Oh, good.
BD.
Oh, boy. Hey, look, everyone, it's Mando! Right this way.
It's just a speeder.
Ready to have your mind
It's Anakin. It's Anakin's old pod racer. Yo. Is this Anakin's pod racer? Oh no, this is from episode 1.
Where's the Razor Crest?
This is a Naboo,
Had a replacement for Razor Crest.
right? Like a Naboo starfighter?
This is an N1
Yeah.
starfighter, handmade for the
Naboo.
Royal Guard and commissioned personally by the Queen of Naboo.
This is a pile
It's
of
probably
junk.
the same one that Anakin flew in episode 1. She's a very good comedic actor.
Oh, look, a family of scurriers.
Her physicality is really good.
I can't even see what I'm doing. Can you stop moving?
I love how she's not even helping anymore.
Yes.
It's just him fixing it.
Great news! Dated a jowl for a while. They're quite furry.
Weird.
Furry. Lot of
What's up, boys? Remember when you broke my ship?
If I give them
I'm gonna make it work, all right?
I love how Boba's not even in this episode.
What are you doing?
Just full Mando season 3 backdoor pilot.
Furry.
What if they didn't even go back to Boba for the rest of the season? They're just like, psych, this is Mando's show now.
Oh, that's good. Good find. What else you got in there?
Wow, they're pretty good at putting those together.
missing.
You hit this button, you're gonna evacuate your exhaust manifold, if you know what I mean. Come on now. All right, that's enough.
This is my favorite episode of Book of Boba Fett, and he's not even in it.
Thanks, little guy.
That's cool. So he knows exactly where it goes. BD, you're incredible. Oh, he even did the little dance like he does in Fallen Order.
I got my hands.
Razor Crest has a lot of storage room though. Easier to bring people in. You know, you can't really take anyone captive with this bad boy. That's so funny. She's so good at that. Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like when you know, street racers have like the front of their car off, like they don't have a hood on. Kind of looks like that almost. Where there's like exposed parts. And it's bitchin'.
Think she's ready?
Ready as she'll ever be. Start her up.
I'd like to see his ship like continue to evolve, like continue to add and change parts on it. That would be sick. It is like a car that just has its engine on top. It's like a drag racing car. Oh.
Engaging forward drives.
The bubble on top does look weird, but that's okay. That looks like the same area that Anakin did his pod racing in. Oh, this is literally where Anakin did his pod racing. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, that Anakin, he went off that ramp. Incredible! Hey, that kid. He's gonna wave to that kid. Wave, Mando. Good thing you didn't pull a Homelander and laser him. Oh, man.
Your voice is
Hey, man.
quite familiar. Did you used to fly a Razor Crest? You mind answering a few questions?
See ya.
How did it jump?
He's like, nah, I'm not answering any questions. I was not on Navarro. You didn't see me on Navarro.
Wizard.
Wizard.
J-type pulse engines really tighten the evacuation.
That's Wizard, Annie.
Is good.
What's the bounty?
No
The
bounty.
entire Pike Syndicate.
Leave muscle.
Tell him it's on the house.
Damn right it is.
First, I gotta pay a visit to a little friend.
Groggy? Bryce Dallas Howard? Hell yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Boba wasn't even in this episode, and it was easily the best one. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Amy Sedaris, fantastic comedic actor. Oh, this was such a good episode. My sweet boy is back. Whew. You know, I was not expecting for just this entire episode to be Mando. I thought maybe he'll make an appearance. You know, because there was hints you know, the music at the end of last episode. I know. My boy is just here. Incredible. Okay, listen. I know that this is a Book of Boba Fett spin-off show, and Boba Fett's like technically the main character, but this was the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett by a wide margin. Because they're like, you know, all the stuff that you like kind of care about but don't fully care about. We're just gonna not have any of that in this episode, and we're gonna introduce the stuff you actually have been dying to see, and that is Mando getting a new ship. I hope that not only is the same model, I hope that it's the same exact one that Anakin flew in Phantom Menace. That would be bitchin'. Oh, incredible. Like the fact that they spent the entire episode with Mando until the very end when Fennec Shand shows up. And he's like, offers him a job, and he's like, I gotta meet a friend first. I wonder if he's going to visit Grogu first, or like what. I don't think he is, but like I wonder what he'd be doing, because he's still, like, I assume chapter 6 and 7 of Boba will be fighting against the Pikes, but I wonder if they're not going to show what he went and did in between this episode and next episode, and that will be featured in Mando season 3, you know? This episode was just a backdoor episode 1 of Mando season 3. Okay, let's go over what happened. First, we meet him right off the bat, no hesitation, getting Mando on a job, you know, working with the Darksaber, cutting people in half, and he's still not great with it. He sucks with the Darksaber. And it's because they introduced a new, I don't remember if this is a new element to the Darksaber or not. Because last season in Mando, Moff Gideon seemed to be like not, like, it didn't seem that difficult for Moff Gideon to use it. I mean, I guess he kind of did maybe at some points look like he was putting a lot of weight into his swings. But I guess an added element, as far as I'm aware of, I'm by no means a Star Wars expert. At least in what I'm aware of, an added element is that, like, if you're fighting the blade, like subconsciously, like your mind is distracted, that it gets heavier as you go, and it's harder to use. I think that would be something specific only to the Darksaber and not lightsabers in general, because I feel like we've seen plenty of instances throughout canon specifically, but probably also like stuff that's no longer canon, of like lightsabers being wielded by regular people, like Finn, he's force sensitive, I guess, so he could use the lightsaber. I mean, it could be a situation where, like, if non-force sensitive people try and use lightsabers or the Darksaber or like Jedi weapons, maybe it's harder for them to do it because they're not, like, their mind is not in tune with the weapon. I don't know. That would be an interesting element if they added that in there in terms of like canon. But I feel like in like Clone Wars or other stuff, we've seen people use lightsabers and not struggle that much. So it might be a specific thing to the Darksaber. But he's struggling because his mind is, he's focused on Grogu. He misses his little boy. And it's just sad, man. But he meets up with the 2 remaining members of his Mandalorian sect, right? After they had to flee where they were, I believe Navarro, right? That's where their old thing was. They had to flee there after their convent was destroyed. They patch him up, and their new base of operations is on, I don't know if they said what thing, what place they're on. It's like a ring, like it's the Halo ring. It's the ring from Halo. They've set up on Halo. And they, you know, they melt down his Beskar spear, because they're like, Beskar should not be weapons. Although technically don't they forge the little birds? Aren't those Beskar? So like, does that count? I don't know. Maybe because they come from his armor gauntlet, it's fine. But it looks like they just forged a bunch of chainmail, like little bits of chainmail that Grogu can wear as like a coat to protect himself. But he's got the Darksaber. We learn a little bit more about we learn, like, it's vocalized, the lore of the Darksaber. We learn that it was crafted by Tar Vizsla, the Mandalorian Jedi, and that he was like awesome. Essentially, he was both Mandalorian and Jedi. And then we learn about the destruction of Mandalore, the 1,000 Nights of Tears or whatever it was called. And we see just the sky blackened with Imperial bombers that essentially glassed Mandalore, and probably destroyed it quite a bit. We had heard about this, I believe, at the last season in Mando from Bo-Katan, how Mandalore was destroyed, but now we get to see it like visualized, which is really cool. But then Mando's buddy, what's his face McGee, he challenges Mando to a duel, because he's like a descendant of Tar Vizsla, I guess. And he's like, I want that saber. Like, you're not meant to have it. It's part of my clan. And he loses the fight, so Mando gets to keep the saber, but they kick him out of the convent for whatever. I don't know why they chose this moment to to kick him out. Maybe they just helped him originally early in the episode as a favor. But given the fact that he's taken his helmet off and technically, according to them, broken Mandalorian code, that means he is no longer allowed to be part of their convent unless he purifies himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. No, unless he goes to the waters beneath the mines on Mandalore, which we just learned Mandalore was glassed, not like broken apart and destroyed, but like the mines are no longer there. I have a feeling we'll probably learn that they still exist in some fashion, and that'll be part of season 3, is him going there to reclaim his honor or Mandalorian status. I hope that he doesn't necessarily, because like I like the idea of him being able to take off his helmet. Like when the other Mandalorians that were born on Mandalore were like, nah fam, that ain't a thing. That I was pretty cool with that. I guess maybe this is like this sect's idea of Mandalorian culture is like based on like a far more radical thing from the past, like when main Mandalorian culture split. So maybe they don't even consider Bo-Katan to be like true Mandalorian. Who knows? But it's so funny that Mando's got to take friggin' commercial flights because his ship is gone. But he gets a new ship, an N1 Naboo starfighter from episode 1 that we saw these Phantom Menace. Anakin flew one of these. He flew one of these into a separatist ship and destroyed it. Like, just bitching. Pretty sure. Yeah, like it's so cool. It would be really cool if this was the exact one that Anakin flew. But they fix it up and it looks awesome. It gives off vibe of like a drag racing cars. Like if you think of like Fast and the Furious, how like some of these cars have like, they have their engine block like, or their intake or whatever it's called, like just sitting on top. Like there's no, like they don't have a hood on there. I guess, well, some even though they have a hood, the thing still protrudes through the top. But this one very much seemed like the type of like drag racing cars where they don't even have a hood on it. It's just like they have it open, so like the airflow is better or something, like cools it off, I guess. Very like Mos Eisley Hispanic culture of car culture, if that makes sense, right? Like that's very much like a I don't know, like if you were, I don't want to equate like Hispanic with gang culture, but in films when you see like Hispanic gangs, if that makes sense, when they have their cars very like exposed and their air intakes are just like gigantic, and they do a lot of drag racing and things like that. And I guess it's not exclusive to Hispanic culture, but it would make sense given that I feel like they've incorporated a lot of Hispanic culture into this show, and just the culture of Tatooine in general. And given that Pedro Pascal is a Hispanic actor, you know, that would be a nice nod / connection. But I could be making something of nothing. I have no idea. So please don't cancel me. But they fixed this bad boy up, and it looks fresh. They scrape most of the yellow paint off, which is good. And this thing just looks very bare bones. Like it's very much not meant to be a polished vehicle. Like this is supposed to be like a get the job done, no frills, like super booster type like ship. And it's way faster than his previous one. His previous one had plenty of room for cargo. You know, he could freeze a bounty in carbonite and, you know, take him wherever he needs to be. This, he probably would have to adopt more of a bring him in cold type type mentality, given the fact that he's not gonna, I mean, unless he ties them up and puts them in the droid compartment. I guess that would be like the go-to move, is knock him out, restrain him, and put him in the little droid pocket, because he doesn't need a droid, obviously. But I think that would be a nice spot for Grogu to sit when he gets him back. He takes this bad boy on a joyride, and he's speeding, going too fast next to a commercial freighter, and we meet up with some TIE fighters, I believe. No, not TIE fighter. No, X-Wing fighters. Republic commandos, featuring my mans from Kim's Convenience. He was in last season of Mando, so he recognizes the voice, and he probably didn't want to be like, hey man, I'm gonna get you in trouble by answering these questions. He's probably just wanted to make sure it was him so he could thank him a little bit, maybe like, hey dude, you're a good dude, I like you a lot. He was supposed to get his own show, I believe, or he was supposed to be featured in his own show, because they were gonna do a Republic Commandos or like Republic fighter show starring Gina Carano, and I believe him as well. But after Gina Carano went hardcore conservative right-wing Donald Trump bootlicking butthole style, and they ousted her from Disney, like when Star Wars and Disney were like, we're not gonna work with her anymore. I believe at that point her show was pretty much canceled, and they probably decided to forego the route of recasting her, and probably just decided that her character will not show up anymore, which is unfortunate for this actor, because he was probably going to feature prominently in that show, given the fact that like at the end of last season of Mando, he was the one that like brought the idea up to her to join the Republic and fight for them and be a outer rim protector or whatever the role they were going to have her be. So that's unfortunate that he kind of like lost a role in that show because of that. So it's cool to see him come back again in this episode. It was a bummer his partner was not Dave Filoni, who I think what he was with last season, and instead is probably some rookie, some lieutenant. But it was good to see him. If you can, watch Kim's Convenience, because he's great in that show. But yeah, then we land back at Mos Eisley, and we get a job offer from Fennec Shand, and she's like, bruh, we need some muscle. And Mando's like, yeah, I'll do that for free. And because I like Boba, he helped me once. But I gotta go see a friend first. So, I mean, given the fact that he can jump to hyperspace and fly real fast, probably wouldn't be a long wait for him to come back. But I wonder if he's going to see Grogu at summer camp. He's going to see Grogu at Jedi camp. But we'll see what happens. And it was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. She's shown some pretty good directing chops. Obviously her father, John Howard, I believe his first name. Fantastic director. Directed many things. She's also a great actress and is fine. She's a very attractive lady. And very capable at her job as well. So, awesome episode. Easily probably my favorite episode of the Book of Boba. And it's not because I don't like Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett a lot. But Mando is so much cooler. That might upset some Boba Fett fans. I know a lot of longtime fans of Boba Fett haven't been thrilled with this spin-off series because they wanted Boba to be like this, similar to Mando, like this badass bounty hunter, maybe slight anti-hero style, but still like killing people all the time, taking bounties. But like logistically, given the fact that you already have a show, like just from a business standpoint, like a Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm business standpoint, like you already have a show about a bounty hunter who wears Mandalorian armor, who's kind of a badass, is willing to kill people. Like you can't, like the niche is filled in a sense. Like even though Boba was kind of that role originally, the niche has been filled. So like it doesn't make sense to just add that type of show in again. So they had to go a different direction with Boba. And it's also, given what he's been through in the story, it doesn't make sense for him to resume that role again. And also Tamara Morrison isn't the youngest dude. So like as much as he probably enjoys doing the stunts and all that, like having a long time combat heavy role for him wouldn't be fantastic. You could put stunt people in it, but like he seems to like to take his helmet off a lot, so who knows. So I like that Boba has a different role. Part of that is I was never the biggest fan of Boba Fett in the first place. Like up until Boba entered into Mando season 2, I didn't like him. Original trilogy Boba Fett is the most overrated character in the history of cinema because he doesn't do anything. He gets like 3 lines of dialogue total over the course of those 2 movies, and he dies like a little bitch. Dies. He escapes. But, Boba Fett, he just looked cool, but he didn't become cool until Mando. There were plenty of Legends storylines surrounding him where he was awesome, and I guess some comic storylines where he was pretty cool. But, like in terms of a visual, like television or movie medium, he wasn't cool until Mando season 2, at least in my opinion. So I always liked Mando Din Djarin better. I think he looks cooler. Maybe could use a tiny bit of color to his outfit, but otherwise he's just so awesome. So the fact that this entire episode was just him, well, I was like, hell yes. Instantly rockets to the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett. There's no competition there. But no, it was fantastic. yeah, I don't know. Let me know. Those are just all my thoughts. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. I'm going to try. I wonder how I'm going to like find a thumbnail for this video. Cause like the entire thing is Mando. I guess I could use maybe his ship at the end, but like it's going to be hard to not spoil the fact that this whole episode is Mando. I'll do my best though. But yeah, let me know your thoughts of this episode in the comments below. Are you excited to see Mando back? How are you feeling about the final 2 episodes of Boba Fett coming next week and the week after? Let me know everything down in the comments. If you liked my reaction, please leave a like on the video. That means a ton to me. If you are new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to support me even further, I do have a Patreon. It is linked in the description. On my Patreon, you can do things like vote in polls to decide what shows I watch next. You get full-length reactions over there. And you can also become featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.